Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, and use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Emma nata mi ro hwe ure pe gbewu. Emma nata mi ro hwe de pe wa wo lole bile ko yin re. You know go mi yan na dran de wuga. Lo wo lo iku do re. We no mi do ohun lo do wa do lo. Ohun lo wa.
We want to beg the government to talk to Femi Adelaja. When he's coming here, we bring the white boat, that the last one boat will come with it with many soldiers. Nobody can near the boat. So we are only begging God to help us.
Look at Torubami. Torubami, they just wake up in a day and start pursuing them up and down. They even promise them that don't worry, we settle you in another community. Torubami people, they are in Makoko community when they pursue them away. Ikate people, they are in Makoko community. Bariga, they are in Makoko community. Now the government and the developer again, they came in that they want to collect Makoko away from us.
If you are a landlord, you show your first data like this, they will start tormenting you that they will be putting fears in your body, they will kill you so that you will not be able to move front, to come and push them away.
Makoko community is an urban slum, which the Lagos state government considers a dent to its megacity ambition. The government wants to relocate and resettle the people of the community so it can redevelop the place. But the terms of relocation, resettlement and compensation are not clear. For years, the Makoko, Shoguro and Okeagbon communities have made this place their home. But
nata mi ro hwe ure pigwe wu. E ma nata mi ro hwe de pe wa wo lole bile ko yen re. You know go mi nya na drando de uga. Lo wo lo iku do re. We no mi do ohun lo do wa do lo. We
want to beg the government so to talk to Femi Adelaja. When he's coming here, we bring the white boat, that the last one boat, will come with it with many soldiers. Nobody can near the boat. So we are only begging God to help us.
Look at Torubami. They just wake up in a day and start pursuing them up and down. They even promise them that don't worry, we settle you in another community. Torubami people, they are in Makoko community when they pursue them away. Ikate people, they are in Makoko community. Bariga, they are in Makoko community. Now the government and the developer again, they came in that they want to collect Makoko away from us.
If we are a landlord, you show your first data like this, they will start tormenting you that they will be putting fears in your body, they will kill you so that you will not be able to move front, to come and push them away.
Makoko community is an urban slum, which the Lagos state government considers a dent to its megacity ambition. The government wants to relocate and resettle the people of the community so it can redevelop the place. But the terms of relocation, resettlement and compensation are not clear.
For years, the Makoko, Shoguro and Okeagbon communities have made this place their home. But recent efforts to develop the waterfront threaten their very existence.
So where exactly does the government plan to relocate the locals? What happens to the fishing community? And how does a mega upscale property solve the city's housing deficit? TV360 Nigeria launched an investigation into the redevelopment plan of the Lagos state government and sought to find answers to these questions. Every morning, 55-year-old Godonu Ojo paddles his canoe to the Lagos Lagoon, just meters away from his ancestral home in Makoko to fish. Like thousands of other fishermen in the Makoko waterfront community, Godonu survives on the daily income he gets from selling his daily catch. But the reclamation activities of the Lagos state government, in partnership with the private developer FBT Coral Estates Limited, threatens not only the livelihood of Ojo and other local fishermen here, but also their homes.
I'm a fisherman too. I used to go to fishing. But when that dredging comes, there's a time that they put it on the water. That time the water float with it. When somebody passes, that boat with it, there's something that's used to bring sand will disturb the person. Even though the big wave is coming, the boat can capsize. So we try to manage until they put it on the ground of water. But that thing drives the whole fish to the sea. So that thing now can drive the whole fish to the sea and drive them moving around. They will not come nearby.
From the fishermen who toil all day on the lagoon to the women who smoke the fish, and then finally to the fishmonger who trades our wares at the popular Makoko seafood market. The survival of each resident is tied to the Lagos Lagoon. But residents say the sand-filling activities on the community waterfront has made fishing very difficult. According to the Lagos State Commissioner for Agriculture, Abisola Olusonya, the artisanal fisheries subsector of the state's fish supply chain presently contributes 80% of local fish production, which accounts for 40% of the state's total fish demand. She added that it also provides a major source of livelihood for fishermen in the state, and Makoko is one of the sources of the city's fish supply. But despite its economic viability, the Lagos State government would prefer that Makoko Iwaya waterfront community does not exist. Rather than cars and motorcycles, canoes bump into each other here in Makoko, an informal waterfront settlement in Lagos, Nigeria. It is often called the Venice of Africa, but its floating slum status where thousands live in wooden houses nestled on stilts in deep murky waters tell a different story. The multicultural nature of this riverine community reflects in the language, majorly Egun, Yoruba and French. Despite being a slum, life here is tranquil. Residents engage in routine business activities, offering various forms of services such as grocery shops, door-to-door salesmanship, canoe manufacturing workshops, and even schools that cater for both English and French-speaking people.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Trouble began for the community on July 20, 2012, when the Lagos State Demolition Task Force stormed Makoko and began pulling down houses barely 72 hours after an eviction notice by the Lagos State Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development. To speed up the eviction process, armed men set the wooden houses on fire. In a disturbance, one person lost his life and many others sustained injuries. Again in 2020, the Lagos State government announced the reclamation of 54.58 hectares of Makoko for redevelopment by developer FBT Coral Estate Limited. But this plan has been widely rejected by residents of Makoko Iwaya waterfront community.
Torí bó ṣe wọ́n ṣe ń ṣe fún gbogbo wa àwọn èèyàn wa bó bá ṣe díẹ̀ díẹ̀ nísìn wọ́n á kó wọn kúrò wọ́n ní níbi kankan fi sùn sí gbogbo wa nìkan wà nínú bòté wà nínú ọkọ̀ bó bá níbi kan wá sùn sí kò dáa àlọ́mọ wẹ́wẹ́wẹ́ ọmọ pọ̀ mo fẹ́ afẹ́ kó wọn sí àlè kúrò ń bí bọ́tí bí ìjọba fẹ́ tún àwọn sukùl ṣe fún àwọn ọmọ wa ó dáa.
I'm a graduate of BSP Polytechnic. I graduated there, and it's from this fishing money that I was sent to school. We have many students here. We have more than 200 students, more than 300 to 1,000 students that are schooling here. We are all trained, all sent to school with this fishing money. If there's something that place, how are we going to survive? How are these people going to survive? Fine, they are talking about development. I know it's not good for we to be staying like this, like wasted. There's no way, there's no place to put waste, dustbin, you understand, no good health center, no government school here. But we ourselves, we support their motion that said they want to develop, but it shouldn't be that way. If truly they will develop the community, they should come. We, the youth, the community, everybody will discuss in a democratic way. They can't just go there and impose dredging or impose any forced eviction on us.
There's no place that can be free to them other than fishing ports. I don't know where you want to take them to. I don't know where you want to develop for them. The only place they can live peacefully is at the fishing ports. So, no to the land grabbing. You know, we have experienced a lot of things, and now we have come to say no to the land grabbing, and let us not be chased from our homes.
The locals, made up of 3 fishing communities, Makoko, Okoagbon and Sogoro, have organized themselves on different occasions to protest the government's relocation and redevelopment plans. They say rather than build the much-needed infrastructure the community needs, the government is employing subtle means to steal their land and redevelop it for the benefit of the city's rich. In 2017, thousands of people in Otodogbame, an informal fishing community, were left homeless when officials of the Lagos state government and armed policemen conducted a forceful eviction. The raid led to the destruction of homes of about 5,000 people and the death of a man who, according to the Justice and Empowerment Initiative, JEI, was shot in the neck.
Look at Torugbame. Torugbame, they just wake up in a day and start pursuing them up and down. They even promise them that, don't worry, we'll settle you in another community. Torugbame people, they are in Makoko community when they pursue them away. Ikate people, they are in Makoko community. Bariga, they are in Makoko community. Now, everybody now in Makoko community, all the people you have chased away, you have promised to relocate them in another community, which you didn't even do. And you now chase them to, they run into Makoko community. Now, the government and the developer again, they came in that they want to collect Makoko away from us.
These particular people are the people that spoil Otodogbame. They went to Otodogbame. They sound-feed the waterfront. They make it impossible for the people, the fishing people, to move outside. Since they can't move outside, they use the sound to block the waterfront and then wage war on them, calling the touts, the police, without informing the governor. So when they started this thing, they killed more than 5 people were killed during Otodogbame forced eviction that took place in 2017.
In an apparent move to avoid public backlash, the state government chose to adopt a new approach of dialogue with the representatives of the Makoko Iwaya waterfront community. But things quickly turned sour when the locals felt sold out by their leaders, or bales, as they are called in the local language. Residents showed us an MOU where the bales signed an agreement with a private developer, FBT Coral Estates Limited, giving consent to the state government's proposed redevelopment and regeneration plans. The residents, however, argued that the MOU was signed without the general consensus of the community.
When they came, they proposed the plan. The youth, everyone in the community doesn't support their motion. So we said no. Suddenly they went to meet with the developer Femi of FBT Coral Limited. So when they met with Femi without our consent, they signed. We heard that they signed an MOU. They signed a MOU. When they signed the MOU, we heard about it. We are not happy because we didn't meet together to discuss this. So we were angry. We asked them that we are not in support with this MOU they signed. So they were like, we are the leaders. Anything we want is that. Anything we want is what you will take.
What I've learned so far, speaking with members of this community, is that while they are open to development in terms of better schools, healthcare and other infrastructure, they want all of this on their own terms. Now, their fear is that these developers could take advantage of them and steal their land. Now, they say that fishing is their primary source of income and any form of relocation is not welcome.
It is important to understand that the MOU speaks of several redevelopment projects that the community will benefit from, such as jobs and other social amenities, but a part which speaks of a displacement and resettlement at a later date worries the residents. The Lagos State government, on one hand, promises to redevelop the area and turn it into an upscale estate in line with the themes agenda of the state. But in the same breath, the MOU speaks of a relocation and resettlement of the locals. This contradiction raises three major questions. Since the MOU did not mention the construction of low-cost housing for the residents, how will the construction of an upscale mega estate be of benefit to the fishing community? Where does the government plan to move the fishing community to? And how would they be compensated? These are the questions TV360 Nigeria put forward in these letters to the Office of the Public-Private Partnership, whose special advisor is Okpe George. The Lagos State Ministry of Waterfront Infrastructure Development, headed by Ahmed Kabiru, and the Lagos State Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, which was headed by Salako Idris at the time of this report. Sadly, all attempts to get a response from these three agencies, who play vital roles in the redevelopment plan of the Makoko Iwaya waterfront community, have been futile. After an initial cancellation of a scheduled interview by the Special Advisor to the Office of Public-Private Partnership, Okpe George, we finally got a response months into this investigation. In a signed letter, the Special Advisor gave vague assurances of the state government's resolve to work in partnership with the locals. His responses did not give clear and direct answers to the questions and demands of the residents of Makoko Iwaya waterfront community. We have also tried to get answers from Felix Moka, who is named as a legal representative of the Makoko Iwaya fishing community in a memorandum of understanding. All calls to his numbers were unanswered, and he did not respond to his text messages.
Despite several protests, reclamation activities on the Makoko waterfront continues. As you can see behind me, that's a dredging machine set up by FBT Coral Estate Limited to reclaim more than 50 hectares of land off the Makoko waterfront. Now, fishermen say the dredging activities, as they call it, has made fishing quite difficult.
While the questions of the residents of Makoko Iwaya waterfront community remains unanswered, the sorry state of housing deficit in Lagos is better explained in these numbers. An estimated population size of 23 million residents, a housing stock of 1.49 million units, and a household size of 4.9 people puts the housing deficit of the state at 3.2 million housing units. The Lagos State government is not unaware of this problem and says it has delivered 14 housing schemes in the past 2 years, contributing 7,000 affordable housing units. While this number of homes can barely solve the city's housing problems, these houses do not come cheap, as houses range between 4 million naira and 20 million naira. With Lagos having a poverty rate estimated at 8.5% and the vast majority living below extreme poverty levels, the construction of mega estates and even the low-cost housing estate is unaffordable for an average Makoko resident. This will further worsen the housing crisis and push more of the state's population into slums and, worse still, homelessness. To better understand the state's housing situation, I paid a visit to Lukman Oshodi, an infrastructure and development expert who led a research team in 2016 on the Lagos State government's past and present policies and projects that border on urban regeneration, housing and infrastructure development in the state, especially mega projects. Oshodi tells me some of his research outcomes.
If you look at the city of Lagos and the development orientation, all this resettlement, relocation, they are yet to be fully adopted as a culture of development processes in Lagos. If you look at development trajectory of Lagos, there is no way you can have a new development without some level of demolition and all that. But the process of going about that demolition so that it doesn't really expose the dignity of the people who reside in those places into danger, into ridicule. Those are the key points that need to come into play.
Sadly, the problem runs deeper than mere numbers suggest. When evacuations are carried out, families are torn apart and may never be properly compensated or resettled decades after. This was the case of some residents of Old Morocco who were lucky to be resettled in this substandard housing in Ikota area of the state. Now 70 years old, Roslyn Odimoko was a young mother and wife in 1990 when she and her husband lost their homes when the then military governor of the state, Raji Razaki, ordered the forceful eviction of more than 3,000 residents of Morocco.
When they give us notice 7 days that they're going to let everybody pack away, we think say that is a joke. Before the 7 days, they bring bulldozers, soldiers, surround all the whole Morocco. That day of 7 days, they start demolishing all the whole places. That's during Razaki regime. That 1990. Like I myself, I sleep for main road for good 2 weeks because nowhere to go. I have children. My husband is there. Many people, we don't know where to go. 7 days notice to go out is how Morocco. Some people are sleeping under bridge everywhere. The government still call us when we are reporting. Where are we going? Where are we going? Then give us say that we come and take our allocation paper for this 80 years a year. We went there. Then give them. Like we have 2 houses. They not even give us 1. Some people have 3. Then give them 1. It's by luck. The house at Morocco is 10,000 houses. But the people they locate for this place, both Jakonde and this, it's not all to 6,000 or 5,000. You see, when this thing happen, then give us allocation paper. Everybody comes to find the zone house here, and when we get some people get the place, they enter. When that time there is no window, it's uncompleted building. Yeah, there no window, no door, no nothing. Like this breeze now, many people die because nowhere to hide themselves. Before we use zinc and everything, putting for the doors and this thing. After then call us again for roofers. Even they give us paper for the roofers for doors and the roofers, and we take it and come and fix it by yourself.
While the eviction has been described as one of the largest forced evictions in Nigerian history, the people still face the threat of losing everything as land grabbers and encroachers threaten them daily.
February this month, this year, we just say caterpillar just coming. They bring sand, fill all these places. When they break, they will continue fill. When they break, they fill. When they break, they fill. We go and meet them and say, who send you this work? Because we know because they have gone and this OPC people. And then we cannot go and meet them. We send people go and meet them. Where are you coming from? Who send you? They say they want to develop care. If you want to develop, not be develop. If you never see us, why you say you want to develop this place? Nobody against developer. The only thing, if you want to develop, you have to come to our community and ask us, say, what happened? This is our landlord or this is the landlord. Well, we not discuss with you, just continue to break our house. We just begin the drag. After when we drag, they not give us any results. We have to go back. We go to, during that time, there's one court when they go for Yaba. We went to the court, we complained, they said we should bring our allocation paper for court. We submit all our allocation paper. Still, we tell the court, say, they are breaking the house. Let's give us stop those people for us, Joshua. They say no, they cannot stop.
This is how they normally treat us in this community like this. You see these people we are seeing there, so he's accusing the landlord association. They are the land grabber and they are the agent of the land grabber. They are working for Manuel Eberu and they are working for Yemi Idowu, which is the Aircom owner. So That is the way they threaten our in 2017-2018. They kill like our 4 or 5 men. When they come again, this 2022 again now, there's an old woman, slum. So also a pregnancy woman also die in these cases like this. Even though around 2:30, they also tormenting. If you are a landlord, you show your first data like this, they will start tormenting you that they will be putting fears in your body. They will kill you so that you will not be able to move front. To come and push them away.
We're just about running up our interviews with the residents of Ikota Estate when a security operative who did not identify himself came to us and ordered us to pack up our cameras. He also accosted some of the residents. He said they encroached on the area, and he also threatened to identify them and deal with them if they do not leave that area. He was also seen filming some of us and the residents to leave. Now, in response, the residents have told him that this is their land, and they also tell me that this is the way these unknown security operatives come around to harass them.
Makoko isn't the only community in the threat of an eventual displacement, and Old Maroko is just one of several communities that have ceased to exist.
Believe it or not, this part of Lekki in Etiosa local government area used to be a thriving town of Maroko, which more than 300,000 residents called home. Maroko was adjacent to Ikoyi and east of Victoria Island. While all traces of old Maroko has been destroyed to make way for this affluent neighborhood, the original residents make do with substandard housing given by the Lagos State government as compensation.
The human and psychological effects of their eventual eviction and the apprehension of what the future holds reflect in the dynamics of human dignity, protection of aquatic life, and preservation of indigenous communities in Lagos State. Folashade Ogurinde, TV360 News.
What do you think about having your masks on? Mask.
Safe.
What do you think?
Safe.
I think youth underestimates the risk of contracting COVID virus. We are young, we're forever young, we won't die. So guys, what do you think about vaccination?
Go next week.
Next week?
Yeah.
My hope for the campaign is that more people get vaccinated, that more people get aware about the information that is out there around vaccines, around COVID-19, and also be more cautious about taking care of themselves first. My name is Zikwana Matubela. I'm the co-founder and CEO of a bakery called Streetside Bakery in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha, in South Africa. COVID fatigue in the community is quite bad. I find fatigue in all the information that they're getting. I'm finding ignorance. It's like COVID has passed, people don't care anymore. Are you getting a vaccine?
I don't want to get vaccine.
Why?
Based on the side effects zayo.
Okay, which are?
Which you get dizzy sometimes.
I cannot dispute the side effects of the vaccine to say because it differs from person to person. Like I say, I also had a lump, but over 2 days the lump was gone. But for me, it was the lump for 2 days, and then now I'm happy to interact. I'm happy to go out. We are affectionate, touchy people. We love hugging, kisses to show affection. Now we have to unlearn that kind of love language. For us, it's a challenge in terms of social distancing. Have you been vaccinated?
Yeah, got all of my 2 shots.
Thank you, Chloe.
So I'm sorted.
You can actually take off the mask.
Yes,
I'm joking.
I'm sorted, and I can even show you my card.
Yes, that's what's up. No, it's fine.
Okay, no problem.
It's fine. Thank you. Like, what encouraged you to vaccinate, if I may ask you?
It's just on my personal healthy way. I don't want to be.
Okay.
Yeah, just to be safe.
And your family?
My brother, not yet, but I'm trying so hard to tell him to get vaccinated, but he's still on the fighting process. He's against it.
We need to be there more for each other than we are on our own. This COVID period has proven to us that we need each other united more.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.